Good evening. Welcome to Size Eyes on the Skies. It is Monday, November 15th, 2010. Now, we dodged a bullet yesterday with the massive amount of snowfall that fell in northwest Iowa. Will we be seeing more snow, maybe even heavy amounts, coming here the rest of the week? Well, stay tuned and find out. Nick Carletta, Nick Krauel, and Tyler Roney will have you more.
It's Monday night on ISU TV. Broadcasting live from Ames, Iowa. This is Size Eyes on the Skies. ISU TV's longest running television show brings you the weather around the country, in Iowa, Ames, and beyond. The Iowa State Meteorology Department's team of forecasters keeps you ahead of the next weather system. Size Eyes on the Skies starts now.
And welcome back. I have with me here right now Nick Carletta. Now, Nick, big snowstorm hit us in the northwest. Very narrow snowstorm, but indeed lots of snow fell up there. Tell us a little bit about how much snow fell.
Well, it was actually very heavy. There actually was fairly good forecast going on with that. There were some areas that got upwards of 10 inches of snow in some parts of northwest Iowa, and that heavy band of snow even continued upwards into central Minnesota up into Duluth with that same heavy amount of snow. I know the Twin Cities metro area also got hit very, very hard, and it was also very localized. There were some areas where you'd have, 6 inches, and then just, county over, there'd be, 10.5 inches of snow. Yeah,
I believe one town actually received 14 inches of snowfall, as reported from one of the ASOS stations now. What a way to go into winter. I mean, you go from no snowfall all of a sudden to bang. I cannot imagine how it was for those folks up in Storm Lake. We're about to talk to somebody who will have more about that, but I heard there were power outages, there were pretty much chaos, and I know people go crazy for just like 1 inch of snow for the beginning of the season. I can't imagine a foot of snow.
Yeah, especially after how dry of an October we had. I think that might have been one of the driest Octobers on a record here in central Iowa, and then we come out with this big snowstorm. Central Iowa really didn't get hit too bad, but still, that's a pretty big snowstorm regardless to come into the area.
I know I have a lot of people asking me today, is it going to snow this week? Is it going to snow? A lot of people are noticing that it's getting cold out there. I mean, we're finally, I think, at average temperatures today. It's very seasonal temperatures out there, and it's gloomy. It feels like almost winter now. And I think there's a hint that we may be seeing our first snow here come Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, there'll be some more of that in the Iowa forecast later today. So
great
keep your eye look forward to that. Exactly.
Let's just fly on over then to Tyler Roney here at the Iowa Weather Desk. Now,
how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Tell us a little bit more about the forecast here for the next few days.
Well, I'll give you, but before I do, I was going to let you know, I mean, I was happy that I was not at home last weekend when they got their first winter storm, did northwest Iowa. You certainly called that one right. We did dodge a bullet. I'm very happy to say we didn't want to deal with that. They had a lot of power outages out in Storm Lake and areas surrounding them. It was a heavy wet snow, so of course it's going to drag power lines down and just make it a big hassle. But you did mention what's going to happen this week. I do have some interesting news. I'll tell you about it in the extended forecast, but we'll head there in a minute. Let's take a look at Day Planner first and show you that tonight around midnight we'll still have some clouds rolling in. It'll be about 36 degrees, wind out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Transitioning into your Tuesday, when you're getting up, going to class, having a great Tuesday. It'll be 34 degrees, wind switching to the west at 5 to 10 miles an hour, and those clouds will linger throughout the afternoon with a high of about 45, give or take around 3 p.m. Now, you are right. We are back to average finally. So we had a cold weekend, and now we're getting back to average. So hopefully it will stay that way for a while. I mean, we were kind of treated to some nice weather last week with highs well above average, but now we're kind of going back to reality, unfortunately.
Well, I know you got me on the edge of my chair waiting for that big news.
You sure are, yes.
I'm sure the viewers as well are on the edge of their seats, and you will get to find out here shortly, but we'll take a quick break, and then right when we get back, Nick Carletta will have your weather in the news. And welcome back. Now we're going to go in a way more detailed session about what happened with this snowstorm here this weekend with Nick Carletta and your weather news.
Thank you, Ryan. And as Ryan said, I am here with your weather news today. So we'll get clicked on right through here, and we'll start talking about that snowstorm we were talking about a little bit earlier. So we'll talk about first here. Our hotspot is actually, for a change, it's going to be in the past and not going off into the future like we normally do here. Here's kind of the setup we had going into the area as that big snowstorms hit into northwest Iowa up into central Minnesota and the arrowhead of the state of Minnesota. So you can see here we have this big low pressure right off here, and the cold front draping down here, and then you got this warm front kind of trailing off over this way. This was the setup we had with the storm, with bringing wide areas of snow over this whole area, but it was actually right down over here, right in here where the heaviest snows were in Iowa. There was a band of heavy snow through there, and that we got very localized heavy amount of snow up to 14 inches, as we mentioned, with areas also of 10 inches going down to 4 or 5. And it got really close to Ames, but not quite, so it's something we'll have to keep a lookout moving further in today. So if we could bring up the visible satellite, we have something interesting to show you guys. You see this area, this band right here coming through there? Those are not clouds. That's actually the snow that we can see on the ground here. And this is visible satellite, so that's why it's getting dark. As the sun goes down, you aren't able to see things anymore with visible satellite, because the reason why we can see everything there is because the clouds and the snow can reflect the sun. So then that should be all we have for the visible now, if we can get back to the graphics. So first we'll go into some of our cities. So here's one area that's going to get some snow back up in the mountains of Montana. They got some snow in their forecast here going into the next couple of days here. We got some snow Tuesday and Wednesday, 34, 25. Pretty seasonal for them, but still pretty cold. We'd have to think about for us. But moving on later in the week, their snow goes away, but behind that they have much cooler air. And we'll see if we get snow or not here, but we can at least be thankful for it. We're not quite we haven't had it come as soon as Glasgow does. And move on into the next city here, a little bit different. Got Nashville right here. They're not in that mountainous area, so they still got rain coming up here in the forecast here. They got 58, high of 58 and 62 going into Wednesday, kind of into the upper 30s, low 40s going for their temperatures, and that continues on throughout the end of the week with similar amounts. They're even getting all the way up to 63 by the weekend. So some very nice temperatures. I'm sure we would love back in the area, but I don't know if we'll be seeing that again anytime soon. So we can head back over to Ryan.
Thank you very much, Nick. That was a great job. Let's take a look real quick at our trivia question here for tonight. If that will come up, click the clicker. There we go. What was the maximum amount of snow that fell during the Armistice Day blizzard back in 1940? Your choices are A, 12 inches, B, 17 inches, C, 22 inches, and D, 27 inches. And a quick hint for that, it was one of the most historic snowstorms ever. So let's switch on over gears to national weather with Nick Krauel.
All right, thanks a lot, Ryan. We're going to start out taking a look at the weather basically all across the nation. We're going to start off over in the northeast and take a look on what's going on over in there. You see with our current surface map, they have this nice stationary front draped upon most of the upper New England portion of America. Part of the cloudy skies basically throughout. Let's take a look at temperatures. See 50 in Boston, 44 in Buffalo, and even 44 down in Pittsburgh. As we take a look a little further to our neck of the woods, see also we got this weak low pressure system sitting off to our northwest, which could bring us some snow into Wednesday, which Tyler will talk about later on, and mostly cloudy skies. You can see the high pressure system though sitting off to our southwest, giving them some orographic snow there across much of the Rocky Mountain region. And we take a look at temperatures, 50 in Kansas City, 34 over in Rapid City, and even 36 up here in Minneapolis. So conditions to our north and west much colder than we're seeing. As we go south, there's that low pressure system. This is going to sweep through up into the northeast and basically bring them rain basically throughout the rest of the week. You can see giving rain right now to much of the Gulf Coast states. So take a look at temperatures there. 68 in New Orleans, 56 there in Dallas. You can really see a temperature change as we move on up to the north and east. As we move over to the west there a little bit, you can see we have another little low pressure system basically sitting off of Washington and Oregon, giving them some clouds and rain as that moves over into our area. You see 74 in San Francisco, 70 in sunny LA, and 74 even in the city of sin of Vegas. Take a look at national next red. There's that low pressure system sitting off through in the southeast with that basically cold front draping right through here and a little bit of a hint of a warm front, stationary front. This is going to turn and basically kick on up in the next couple days and really bring a lot of rain into the northeast and into New England. Basically though, not too much else going on. See the giant, our forecast jet stream, we got a huge trough basically sitting over us, giving us these cool temperatures. And that'll basically sit for the next couple days, keeping us